Hello, Sparta Pro Wrestling fans. Welcome to your bonus match. Here, we're going to have our trios match. The new television champion teaming with the new tag team champions against the new world champion leading Legado del Fantasma. Alright, as I just said, the new television champ Isaiah Swerve Scott teaming with the new tag team champions Mustache Mountain, facing off against the new world champion Santos Escobar with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza, Legado del Fantasma. And this is under elimination rules. Here we go, guys. It's the first time you get to see these new champions in action. Outside of them winning it at the grand finale, that show was amazing. I hope you guys enjoy. This is a one-match show. Really appreciate you guys watching this whole series. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Leon Harris, here hosting Sparta Pro Wrestling World's bonus match here to our series. I figured after grand finale, I was like, can't just end this way. We gotta at least have one last match, something. And I was like, boom, trios match. Got Legado on one side, heels on one side, baby faces on the other side. New television champ, it all comes together. Here we go, guys. It's gonna be fun. Looks like the tag champs are coming out first. Tyler Bate, Trent Seven with his strut. Go ahead, Greg.
The following contest is a six-man tag team match. And at a combined weight of 391 pounds, the World Tag Team Champions, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, Mustache Mountain.
The two men that eliminated Fabian Eichner and Marcel Barthel from SPW. The co-founders of British Strong Style. And the two men with the most swagger out of all Sparta Pro Wrestling. Got to take a page out of their book, you know what I mean? Oh, the best role in the business. The new tag champs, baby. I swear I've got to grow a mustache like them, just so I can do the same poses and everything. You gotta love them. Alright, there's the new tag team champs. Now, the new television champ. Let me ask you, whose house? Swerve's house. Won that 8-man ladder match.
From Tacoma, Washington, weighing in at 201 pounds, the television champion, Isaiah Swerve Scott.
As I was saying, won that 8-man ladder match, defeating Dominik Dijakovic. That match was all over the case, but Isaiah Swerve Scott came out the victor in the end. And here he is standing proud for the SPW fans. I'm all tongue-tied in this show. And here's their opponents. The newly crowned world champion, Santos Escobar. and his disciples, Joaquin and Raul.
At a combined weight of 565 pounds, Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza, Legado del Fantasma.
Their new ring gear that they debuted at Grand Finale. With the presence of the new world champion, ladies and gentlemen. Comes full circle between Swerve Scott and Santos. You can see who ended up on top. All right, the babies versus the heels. Nice classic elimination trios match. Here we go, guys. Bate puts him down. Oh, deadlift suplex there. Tags in Swerve. Now the television champ and the world champion go out of here. Wait, what? One moment. Controller assignment? Okay. All right, television champ and the world champ are going at it. Probably gonna see me do a lot of that controller assignment thing. There's a whole little glitch here. Yeah, I'm loose commentary right now. It's not like a. It's just a bonus match for y'all, man. You had to see the new champions in action. As I've played through this series, it's all unbiased. Like if I lose, y'all saw I would lose. You saw if I win, I win. And it was no big deal. I'm just glad that it all played out so perfectly, honestly. I just kind of improv'd a lot of the show. Like, I didn't plan on Santos even winning the climax, but it happened. I went with it. It was a perfect conclusion to the series. And now we got this great match here. You know, with the limitations of WWE 2K22, like, it's not like back in the day with 2K14 and below with story mode where you can just plan out everything. So I just had to come up with stuff off the fly and just make it all happen. Even with the whole shoot fight thing with Karrion Kross, I just came up with that. Like, when it comes to the shoot fight thing, like, I actually was doing something like that. I downloaded the martial arts belt off of the Community Creations, and I had a whole tournament with like the best mat wrestlers and martial artists in the roster, the whole WWE 2K roster that I thought would fit the whole tournament, and I created the shoot fight cage. And I just thought to myself, like, Karrion Kross, MMA fighter, you know, whoops people's asses left and right, gets bloodied up, all that crap. I was like, perfect. He'd be the guy to become the shoot fight world champion. You know, it's a perfect combination. Then you got a hot wife like Scarlett Bordeaux as like this ring girl or whatever, you know. So it all just went so perfectly together. A lot of my influence when it comes to commentary comes from Joey Styles, as well as other great Oh man, Joey Styles, Michael Cole, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler, of course. I mean, you know, these are the pretty typical names you'll hear about. could also say Taz, you know, with all the jokes and playing around here and there, and now roll up here. Guess no one's, I'm about to say, is anyone gonna break it up? Oh. This isn't my first show I've commentated. Like, over the years, I've had other YouTube pages where I will host a show. Just a brief history on my, man, voice crack. Man, all this commentating I've been doing and yelling, you know, I do all these episodes back to back. It's not like it's I do it for days. Like, when I commentate, I said, oh, this many weeks, or this month, that month, you know, it's all in one. It's all in one day for most of the episodes. So you read the date on the description. But my brief history when it comes to running wrestling shows or anything like that, it's 2023 now. It was like literally 10 years ago. I used to play on Roblox.com. A buddy got me into it. I think I don't know what grade I was in, but he got me into it. We started playing Roblox, or we did some type of tower thing where we had to survive. And then I started seeing wrestling games on there, and I was like, holy crap, like this whole Lego thing is hosting wrestling on here. And then I started getting into, you know, you can actually host your own shows on here, and I just kept getting connections with like hundreds of people on Roblox running their own wrestling shows. So I wasn't the most creative guy in the world when it comes to creating a wrestling show. I mean, I didn't even create the logo for this show. You know, this Sparta Pro Wrestling stuff goes back kind of far. I can tell you a story about that in a sec. But back to my story about Roblox. When I played Roblox, I was running Ring of Honor, because I had just gotten into Ring of Honor with Kevin Owens and El Generico and all that. Back then, it was a pretty big deal in the Indies. They were also wrestling in PWG together and all that crap. The whole freaking what was it, Mount Rushmore? Yeah, with the Young Bucks and PWG, and then El Generico had his team. I haven't seen these DVDs. I just went on YouTube and watched PWG highlights, and I was just hooked. I really loved watching the Indies in that year. I just realized I've been playing a Swerve for the longest freaking time here. Ooh, a little AJ Styles action there. But, am I going to be able to tag them in? Like, Jesus, this glitch. Yeah, I would just host shows, and eventually I started producing different shows. I was so indecisive about what I wanted to call my show. The guys I played with were very patient. We're all kids. We were just kind of just having fun. But I would record episodes, and, you know, I wouldn't do voice commentary. I did, you know, like typing up commentary, because it's all online. But those were some fun times. First time running shows like that. But when it comes to YouTube, it was pretty strong social barrier for me, because I was a little shy when I first created a YouTube page, and I started discovering how to share my gameplay video on PlayStation. So I learned that share button. What the hell is Charles doing? But yeah, I hit that share button, and then it just clicked from there. Eventually I got my own headset, and I started just doing audio. I think I was just playing with my buddies on my old YouTube pages. And eventually I grew the confidence to start hosting my own shows. So, with the confidence of running shows on Roblox and putting those online, so I was saying I can confidently run a show. Now I gotta find the words of what to say on this microphone. And I'm still pretty tongue-tied every time I try to commentate. I'm not perfect at this crap, but I'm doing my thing. It's all about my love for professional wrestling and any creativity I can express. I've been in love with this stuff for 20 years of my life here. Brief history when it comes to Sparta Pro Wrestling. This actually has been in the making for 3 years now. Not gonna get too personal with myself. Like I was when I went to boot camp. I think it would be in my free time. I would be writing a story about wrestling. It's like, you know, boot camp already sucks. Let me make the best out of it. So I said one day, hey, like, you know, Warriors, the 300, you know. And it just came to me, Sparta Pro Wrestling. And I wanted to produce my show off of that. So I just started drafting it up, writing in my little notebook there. I had a notebook. I filled the entire notebook up with an entire year worth of episodes. Like, I really wrote like 4 weeks in 12 months worth of episodes just to produce on a WWE 2K game. It just kept me, you know, it kept something to look away from boot camp for a second, get away from the training, get away from all the, you know, all the bullshit you go through there, and just look at something fun on the sidelines. And it was an opening experience. And once I graduated and I was home for a little bit, I remember I hopped on my YouTube page I had at the time, and at the time I had Fire Pro Wrestling World. I found a logo or whatever, and Jesus, look at it, Swerve's eye, it's all jacked up. I hopped up on Fire Pro Wrestling World, and they had their own GM mode there, and I was happy as hell they had GM modes. You know, we've all been waiting for GM mode to freaking be back, and, you know, with them having GM mode on Fire Pro, you can design your own show, use your own logo, all that crap, and it was just legit. You know, you got the budgeting and all that crap. And I hosted, like, I think a few episodes on my YouTube page, and I used my voice and everything like that because I had the confidence like that. Excuse me. For anyone that heard me yawn, please, I apologize. Accept my apology, because I know you're about to yawn. Oh, Jesus. This is a pretty good match so far. But yeah, it started there. It started at boot camp. Then I came home. I put it in Fire Pro Wrestling World. I produced that crap within like a few days and played the shit out of GM mode. Ooh, face planter. Let's see if Tyler Bates been eliminated. But yeah. After that, I kind of sidelined it once I finished my series off the bat. Ooh, far 50. I don't know why this speech impediment comes out of me. Like I got a freaking accent. Like a I don't know, European accent. Like I'm black. Like I'm an American. I don't know where. I mean, I got a little bit of like a southern thing going on with me, but not really at the same time. But yeah, Sparta Pro Wrestling World. Sparta Pro Wrestling, I sidelined it for a very long time, but deep down, so let me put this in chronological order with Sparta Pro. I drafted up the idea back in 2020, right? 2021, it's just kind of like it was done, and that was that, right? I already produced the videos, all that good stuff. 2020, let's say 2020. Okay, 2020, then 2021, sidelined it. 2022, I kind of thought about it. That was last year. Like, will I ever bring it back? And if I did, how would I do it? And, you know, I've been over here going to work and stuff, and I've been putting in all those hours, and I finally caught some days off here for the past 3 days this week. That's why I was even able to produce so much content. It just came to me. You know, I saw this logo. I was like, what if I brought back Sparta Pro, but I know what roster I want? Let me just find a cool logo. Found a cool logo on Community Creations. I don't know the username off the top of my head, but I did screenshot it. I can just put that in the description and shout out for them for even producing this logo and just giving me this whole series I can work off with just that logo. It looks amazing. It's been awesome. One thing I know some family members have said when it came to my YouTube pages, they say like, "I'll make money off of it." No, I would never make money off of this stuff. One, I get tongue-tied all the time. Yeah, give props to people like PewDiePie that can even just be able to do this kind of stuff for years. Because, like, I mean, this is not a career thing for me. This is just straight up fun. Like I said before, oh, he's about to eliminate Trent Seven. Oh, man. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, broken up. Yeah. I mean, literally, a lot of this stuff, like, look at the map, for God's sake. Like, a lot of this is not an actual sponsor, for God's sake. I'm not sponsored by ESPN or Nike or Jack Daniels. That's an old-ass Tap Out logo. Tap Out's still around, but that's, like, from the UFC days, you know? I just wanted to express myself through these logos, because, like, you know, I mean, like, I wanted to make this show, you know, give respect to professional wrestling as a sport, you know? And for those that watch a lot of professional wrestling, I did try to make, when it comes to the Climax case and everything, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I was trying to make it like New Japan feel, you know? Because New Japan, I was just watching that pinfall, got a little quiet there. New Japan respects the hell out of professional wrestling as a sport. And I've been, even through Fire Pro, and like anything when it comes to me producing any wrestling content or show, I try to treat professional wrestling like a freaking sport, but also respect gimmicks too. Almost got me there. And in this show, I've been trying to do that as best I can, but also have some storyline to it, have a little bit of, you know, kayfabe to it. It kind of, deep down, I actually kind of screwed up when it comes to the Street Profits. They were not supposed to return like that, basically. I mean, it was a kind of a decent return, but like, for those that look at the whole playlist on YouTube, I keep yawning over here. I still went to work today and then came home and just streamed. Just 3 streams in one night. Ridiculous how much I love this stuff. But, yeah, this series is pretty short. And it's because the limitations of 2K22 kind of screws with my creativity. Like, if they bring back story mode, I'll be able to do a lot more. And kind of have a more of a plan instead of it just spitballing and kind of just running all over the place, you know. But when it comes down to, Jesus, this match is long. That's why I made this a whole episode worth. I kind of lost my train of thought, so I'm trying to focus on the match now. Yeah, he's about to submit me. What was I saying? I'm trying to catch. Someone break this up. Thank you. What was I saying? Damn it. Yeah, I lost my. Oh, I guess sponsors. And, oh, okay. Sponsors and making this, like, more sports oriented, I guess, was my point. I kind of got caught up in the match here. Like, I like Jack Daniels. It's actually the first alcohol I was introduced to as a teenager, you know. Nike, who doesn't like Nike? ESPN, I want to make it look sports oriented. Tap Out. I grew up watching WWE and UFC, and I just loved the Tap Out logo. And I just thought, yep, that looks cool enough. Black and white is actually like the typical colors you'll see me wear. Excuse me. In my fashion style, I'm just very basic. So like, it's all, this whole show connects to me and my, you know, my personality, and also how I even run the show. Oh, I think I remember now what my main topic was: kayfabe, retaining the storyline. It just all went together so well. The Tommaso Ciampa and Walter storyline, that was that was awesome. That steel cage match was just simply amazing. If you follow my other videos, you know, I did a steel cage match right before I did that show with Tommaso Ciampa and Santos Escobar here for the NXT Championship or something like that. And that was no commentary, of course. My voice is kind of giving up on me over here. All this talking. As I was saying, the steel cage match, yeah. I saw how awesome the steel cage match is on 2K22. This whole game just flows correctly. It's an awesome game. I just hate that it gets buggy and stuff, and that they didn't. I just want them to bring back story mode. It would just make it so much better. Just about to hit me with the Dude Buster. Oh my God! He didn't even cover me. Now he will. And he couldn't even finish me. But as I was saying, that steel cage match, it hit me. I was like, you know, I'm going to reproduce Sparta Pro Wrestling on 2K for the first time ever. I'm going to make it look amazing. We're going to bring in another steel cage match. We're going to redo this again, and it just went so well. I loved it. If you notice with the series, I stopped even using the rivalry system on Universe mode because it just kept getting buggy. I think and that's where I started just saying, all right, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Yeah. Low key, you know, that pull the plug thing, that was kind of like, I had to come up with something last minute because the game got so buggy in that street fight match or Falls Count Anywhere match with Walter and Tommaso. You know, I couldn't do a pinfall, I could do a submission, but the referee was glitched and I literally couldn't finish the match. And I was just like, okay, something's gotta like end this right. I think there was a moment in ECW where it got so hardcore, you know, that they had to turn off the show. This all just came off the fly. Like, I try to be quick with everything and just adapt as fast as I can when it comes to bullshit. So, like, I was like, Walter is about to beat the daylights out of Tommaso with all these power bombs, and it's going to make us cut off the show. Because they've already seen a broken neck. They've already seen blood. They've already seen, you know, injuries and all that crap. They've seen it all. Oh shit. Oh, Fufu's the top singles champ. Just like that, broken up. This match is just gonna go on for the whole hour, for God's sake. But yeah, that buggy moment fucked a lot up for the ending of the show. And and you just gotta make something happen. I remember back then, I say like my mentality is so much stronger now that I know how to just fix shit as fast as I can, come up with something. Cause like back then when I was still like a teenager or like a guy in his early 20s, I was just like, oh man, my show's not working, let me just turn it off now and just delete the episode, we'll redo it later. Nah, fuck that. We're gonna come up with something, you know? And boom. If the game don't crash, we can come up with something. And it just worked out. This is a bonus match, but this is almost like a director's like cut area or something, you know? Just comment on how this whole show's been. My top favorite match out of the entire show, I can think of, It would have to be Legado del Fantasma versus Mustache Mountain in that tournament. That was honestly the best match I've seen on this series. And that tournament match was amazing. Like I literally was about to jump high at how great the match was. I was losing my mind. It was so good. The Omos and Apollo Crews situation. I swear to God, that climax match, I had no idea what was going to happen. But when I started seeing Omos just beating the living dog shit out of Apollo Crews, I was like, they just lost their match. This connects and makes it look so great. Screw it. He's defected from the nation, and it just went together, man. I mean, just think deep down, like I've been saying it for the series, like this guy's the private, he's the private, you know, this guy, he freaking, you know, is not getting promoted, no patches, just still wearing that coat, you know. Or you got the commander and the general here, it's kind of just their errand boy, you know. And then he just says, screw this, I'm defecting, I'm done with the nation. Like, this is getting me nowhere. And that was the trip. Oh my God. Bro, we were right next to the ropes. That's awesome. But let me think. I've already listed off, like, clearly my favorite rivalries, Tommaso Ciampa and Walter, and anything with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross's stuff is just awesome. Like, I remember that first match between him and Damian Priest, like, ended in a count out. That was just kind of like symbolism behind the fact that he will beat you at the 10 count, you know, as a legitimate fighter, things like that. I've been watching professional wrestling since I don't know, it's definitely been a long time. I actually was not originally watching wrestling. I was just playing the video games with a buddy I knew when I was like 4 years old, and it just started with toys and video games. He had like the SmackDown games, or the eventually SmackDown vs. Raw, the first one in 2005. So it just started out with the basic stuff, and that's what turned me into a fan. The wrestling ring, the toys, the video games, and the action. My first favorite wrestler was The Undertaker. And I mean, I loved The Undertaker so much, because like at the time I was doing martial arts classes, so when I saw him wearing the same gloves I'm wearing in my classes, oh yeah, I love The Undertaker. And I really loved how he rolled his eyes in the back of his head and the tongue and all that. Jesus! Knocked my head off. This is a long ass match. But yeah, that was my first favorite. Then eventually the Boogeyman came out, and that was my second favorite. I was into all the weird looking guys, you know. Oh damn. Like, screen got bright there. I missed that move. But what was I saying? Yeah, so my history of wrestling, it started out with just some basic stuff, and then it just evolved. I think I was like 8 years, not 8. How old was I? It was 2007. I'd say is when I started actually watching wrestling. It was like January 2007. I think I was watching SmackDown and The Undertaker was on TV, something like that. moment. But yeah, it's been a long ride of me watching. I just watched SmackDown tonight. It's a pretty decent episode. I think I've even said on my that 2K22 gameplay video, I was saying, like, I've been watching wrestling for I've been a fan for 20 years, and I have seen, like, the majority of everything, because I've watched documentaries, read books, you know, and I've clearly, like, when it comes to running this show, like, for those that deep down have such a love for professional wrestling, they'll recognize I have done literally everything I can to pay respect to professional wrestling with this entire series. Even if commentary sucks, if you just look at the inner details, I'm clearly passionate about this thing. I even have a tattoo of it on my arm right now. 'Cause I'm dedicated for life as a wrestling fan. Even something like this, like, like if you connect this bonus match to, like, how New Japan does, they do Wrestle Kingdom, then they do, like, the New Year Dash afterwards. This is basically like New Year Dash. You got the new world champion, you got all the champions competing, you know. They just did with Kenny Omega and freaking Kazuchika Okada. Like, they just tag team, they came with the Rain Trigger or some crap like that. You know, I haven't, you know, me going to work and me producing all these episodes has kept me from being able to get caught up on New Japan since Wrestle Kingdom 17. But I did see, I think I posted on my YouTube page this morning that Mercedes Moné is facing Kairi February 18th. 450. Damn, I kicked out and he broke it up. That was awesome. I mean, we literally got all the fucking champions in this match, man. Somebody's gonna get eliminated eventually. 1, 2. Oh my god. As I was saying, my love for professional wrestling, like, oh, I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of questions from people because I'm in shape. And because I have such a strong love for wrestling, why would I ever step in the ring? I have a history of injuries, and it's just like, I don't even know. I don't know if I could, if the stuff they do, even just like when you watch it and you play the game, like, these guys are literally just falling onto a mat over and over again. Sometimes even just wood, depending on the promotion. And, like, Jesus. Could I be slammed on a mat literally like 1,000 times? I don't even know. I'd probably just get tired eventually. Pass out from pain. But never say never. My life changes all the time. This fucker's still up. One thing when it comes to this show, I try not to use too many big names like that. You know, more the indie stars, I guess you could say. Ones that are kind of low-key. Definitely not going to use like a Seth Rollins or a Kevin Owens in the show. I almost did, though. It's crazy. It was very close to happening. I was going to use certain people. But I said, you know what, let's just use the PWG stars, some Ring of Honor stars. I'm not sure where Austin Theory really was. I just know he was in Evolve. I don't recall ever seeing any pictures or anything of him going to Ring of Honor or even New Japan. Like, I'm assuming most of his career was Evolve and maybe some indie promotions. And then WWE picked him up. I'm a pretty big fan of Swerve Scott because he's like amazingly athletic. He's held championships everywhere he goes. He is a veteran like myself. Not trying to be biased when it comes to race, but like he's a successful black man. Me and him we have the same mentality. Like we just make things work, you know. Like on commentary on 2K22, they said that like he comes from a military family, and he comes from a very disciplined lifestyle, and he served some time in the reserves. Very relatable, and he has this passion for wrestling to the point this guy literally has a podcast on it. You know, and that's amazing to me. Also, our birth dates are not too far from each other, so like it's a lot of relatability between me and Swerve Scott, or Swerve Strickland, or whatever the hell you want to call him. I don't even know his real name, sadly. Probably look it up after this thing. I remember when it came to Shane Strickland, the first time I saw him was in CZW. And at the time, I think he was the Wired champion or something. I liked him because of how, you know, he would do all that flipsy crap and stuff like that. I was really into that stuff back then. I talk a lot of shit about flipsy stuff now because, like, you know, like, when you're a kid or a teenager, or, you know, someone that's just getting really drunk, you're really into all that hardcore stuff and then the flippy stuff and all that. You know, you don't really put much thought into the sport that is professional wrestling and the point of doing all this, you know. As I get older, I start to appreciate what they do in the ring more storytelling and how each move means something. Which is why I love New Japan, because they do that shit all the time. They teach their wrestlers to do that in the dojo. And you just gotta love when it comes to New Japan, like the camera angles that they go through to like kind of elevate every move they're doing. It could just be a simple suplex. They know to just get that good angle to make it look devastating, even though it's just a suplex. That's like wrestling 101 after a while, you know. Literally no one's been eliminated. This is just crazy. Literally been going off for over 30 minutes now. Can I just submit this fucker? Oh my god, he's still in it? Screw this, I'm ending it. Get out of here. You're done. That's one. Jesus. We both had a thought there. But told some stories here where my commentary skills come from, or if you can call them skills. I say I have more creativity skills than commentary. I'm still, you know, gaining that voice, and like I said, there's so much adaptability playing this game and running a show on it. You know, I don't have those skills of doing how the other YouTubers on there doing all this editing and all that, and they get all these angles and they do all this clipping. You know, I did this crap from live streams in just, what, 4 days? And I'm already done with my series and produced all this content. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think how many hours of content that I produce. I mean, this one's pushing, this episode's pushing like an hour over here, which is typical. I say about 8 episodes are probably like a little over an hour. I think we had 1 2-hour show. And then we had, one sec. Alright, here we go. Pinfall. Oh my god. Okay, look. Here, come on, Burning Hammer. Come on, ref. Down. Come on, Charles. 1. Up. Santos broke that shit up. Great. Boom. Eat that. Bitch slapped him.
Raul Mendoza has been eliminated.
One thing about professional wrestling, like, it's gotten me through some times, man. Like, of course, we all go through certain moments when it comes to being a kid or an adolescent, you know, teenager, whatever. Like, wrestling, I identify with wrestling. People are over there watching NBA and NFL. Like me, I'm a wrestling fan. And guess what? No one can even jump in the conversation about wrestling because these are the pure athletes of the world doing what they do. A lot of them have played football or basketball or soccer. You know, maybe even all of them. But when they step in a wrestling ring, it tests everything in them. Oh! Well, this is the end of our show. Boom! 1, 2, throw! I take that back. Okay, I thought that was it. Yeah, let's go ahead and just hit a Tyler Driver on him or something. I'm also getting really sleepy. It's almost midnight here. I've been over here talking like crazy. Ran an episode. Boom. I ran an episode. Did a tournament or whatever. Either way, I'm tired. And I worked a shift today. The tag champs and the television champ win this. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed all this talking I did. Kind of tried to introduce a chill type of commentary. So I'm usually like rambling and trying to commentate and I'm stuttering or I'm trying to get the right move out of my head if I can remember it, you know. But this was fun, guys. Thank you guys for watching the series. This has been Leon Harris. I'll catch y'all later.